All right, we're going to try things a little differently now. My name is JP Biambi. I'm with Merchant Advisory Services. Thanks for tuning in. I want to give you a quick little news brief for payments and merchant services from around the internet for the week of March 24th, 2026. There's been some significant activity, in payments and merchant services. We've seen, record-breaking industry fees, but we're going to talk about that a little later, so stay tuned. Right now, we've seen there's some partnerships and alliances that have been where there have been major collaborations that have been aimed at streamlining merchant integrations. So first, we have Globant and Aiden. They have a new partnership, and it's going to be focused on, accelerating merchant payment infrastructure. It's also going to help reduce time to revenue for large enterprise companies. And then, if you haven't heard, Fiserv and Western Alliance Bank's alliance is going to integrate Clover's platform with the bank's commercial services to provide modern merchant solutions to more complex industries. So Next Moves and Vector Tech are also going to be partnering to deliver some payment solutions. It's going to include, merchant services and POS. Now, in tech and AI, that industry, it's like now pivoting towards autonomous payments. That's the thing now. And we have enhanced security. That's going to be, important. And then this thing with, agentic commerce is going to be everywhere. All right. Right now, there's discussions led by JP Morgan and Amazon. So, this, highlights the importance like autonomous and AI payments. So, as far as AI services, experts are looking at, agentic commerce or AI-enabled merchant services as the future. And right now, e-commerce is particularly fueling the growth of mobile wallets in regions like Southeast Asia. And then we have tokenization. If you haven't heard what that is, but it's currently being used for security protocols now. And it's now moving beyond just security. Tokenization is now being positioned more as like a tool to future-proof the payments industry. And it's going to be able to, protect merchant and consumer data at scale. And there's going to be some important milestones coming up right now. If you haven't heard, there's some big business moves happening. Merchant industry, they've rebranded. The company, it's now called Suede. Merchant industry is now called Suede. All right. And the fintech giant, Klarna, you may not have heard of them, but they've reached a milestone now of 1 million merchants. So now I want to talk about some changes in leadership, right? And then a notable acquisition has been that MasterCard has acquired BVNK, and that signals their move into stablecoins. So we have Elavon that also appointed a former Bank of America executive as their new CEO. All right. And there's been, a little bit of a shift with fintechs, in Africa and South America. All right. Right now, There's some fintechs in Africa, and they're just, moving beyond simple payments. They're going to be offering integrated SME platforms, and they're going to include inventory management and invoicing. In South America, MasterCard, they're working to elevate Peru's real-time payment ecosystem. All right? And they've launched this Beyond platform to support this next generation of European fintech. And in industry trends right now, in the merchant services industry, I want to report that the Merchant Payments Coalition has said that the credit card and debit card swipe fees have hit an all-time record high of $198.25 billion. That is close to $200 billion. That means the fees in the industry have reached almost $200 billion. This is now starting to prompt renewed calls for legislative action. So who knows? We don't want this industry regulated. I certainly don't. Hopefully, other things will divert that. But finally, the market is starting to feel the impacts from the global conflicts right now. Because Global Payments, if you haven't heard, they have noted that credit and debit transaction volume has been impacted, which is stemming from the ongoing wars in the Middle East. So if you haven't felt it yet, I'm pretty sure you're going to feel it at the register, maybe at the pump, at the supermarket, where prices are going to start to affect you. If you're a business owner, you might be feeling the impact in terms of, increase of your, goods. Expenses may be going up. I'm pretty sure that, employee wages are going to need to go up because, everything else is going to go up. If an employee's got to commute to work, then their, gas price is going to go up. People are going to start trying to command more for their wages. Anyway, this is going to be a vicious cycle, and I think everybody needs to get prepared for it. If you're not ready for it, or if you weren't aware of it before, then you need to know about it now. Maybe need to brace for it now, but I have a feeling that our economy is going to be seeing a little bit of a, downturn, and it's going to be an issue for everyday people, especially business owners or merchants who are selling. And we may not know how deep this is going to go or how much of an impact it's going to make on our lives. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, and hopefully you will be too. Maybe you could tune in the next time, and I'll see you then. My name is JP Biambi. This is Merchant Advisory Services. This is our YouTube channel, and I'm going to see you on the next one.